Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling Podcast, episode 52. Tonight, we're talking Elimination Chamber 2017 predictions. It's all coming live here on the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling Podcast. Now here's your host, Mark Flores. Hey guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Flores. Tonight we're going to be discussing Elimination Chamber 2017. Today being the Wednesday of, I believe it's February 7th or whatever. But we have here a few matches that we need to start discussing here on the Pay-Per-Review Wrestling Podcast. The listing of the wrestling match card goes like this. We have Alexa Bliss versus Naomi for the WWE Women's Championship. We also have a tag team turmoil match for the WWE Tag Championships, for the SmackDown Tag Championships. American Alpha, the Vaudevillains, the Usos, Heath Slater and Rhino, Breezango, and the Ascension. We also have another match with Nikki Bella and Natalya. We also have the Elimination Chamber match for the SmackDown Championship. It's John Cena versus Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles versus The Miz versus Baron Corbin versus Bray Wyatt. We also have Luke Harper versus Randy Orton, Becky Lynch versus Mickie James, Apollo Crews and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler in a handicap match. So you can imagine with such a dense match card that they're going to have a couple of these matches on the pre-show. I believe that they are going to have just Apollo Crews and Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler on that match card along with Becky Lynch and Mickie James. But keep in mind, the card is always subject to change. I'm going to go first down the line with the match that I believe is going to be on that pre-show. And it's the 2-on-1 handicap match with Dolph Ziggler and versus Apollo Crews and Kalisto. When I've looked at this match off the match card just itself, I think it's a unique match. It's going to enhance the cocky heel attitude of Dolph. He ended up saying that he can take on Apollo Crews and Kalisto at the same time. So what you can see from this match is that Dolph Ziggler is becoming the cocky heel that he needs to be, and that's how he thrives. I think he works better as a heel. With Apollo Crews and Kalisto, these are the fresh baby faces trying to get over on one with Dolph Ziggler. But when you look at a 2-on-1 handicap match, there's a situation here where we look at, well, there's got to be a reason why both Kalisto and Apollo Crews are both involved at the same time they're facing Dolph Ziggler. My opinion on this match is that Dolph is going to grab the victory, and the reason why is that there's going to be turmoil between Kalisto and Apollo Crews, and it's mainly just going to be a mix-up between the two where something's going to get miscommunicated and you have Dolph Ziggler walking away with the victory. That's how I see it. I mean, when you look at matches like this with someone else being involved, like a 2-on-1 handicap match, there's the reason why they do it. There's always a reason why. Maurice is always next to Miz inside the Miz's matches. There was a reason why Kevin Owens had Chris Jericho up in the shark cage when he was facing Roman Reigns for the Universal title. There's always a reason for it. They're always going to be needed. And that's why they get booked on those particular things. So with Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews and Kalisto, you can expect Dolph Ziggler to ride the momentum that he has. Apollo Crews and Kalisto are in a position where they don't really have any momentum or a storyline going for them right now. So Dolph Ziggler building up probably to get an Intercontinental title shot is the best way to go. Just imagine a mix-up between Apollo Crews and Kalisto for Dolph Ziggler to sneak away with the heel type of victory. Next up is Becky Lynch versus Mickie James. So with Mickie coming along to the SmackDown scene, it's going to be hard to see Mickie lose this match against Becky Lynch. There's going to be a storyline feud between Mickie James battling whoever wins out of Alexa Bliss and Naomi for the WWE Women's Title. So you have to play your cards right on this one. With Mickie James's momentum as she debuted as La Luchadora, and she ended up getting unmasked and being on the side of Alexa Bliss. With her facing Becky Lynch, you can expect this match to be a very good wrestling match. Mickie James is very underrated in terms of psychology. If you guys need a reference to see how good Mickie James is out of her hiatus from the WWE, please, I encourage you guys to reference the match she had with Asuka at TakeOver. Becky's not going to lose cleanly in this situation. She needs to keep a certain amount of momentum going heading into WrestleMania. She'll get disrupted by outside interference, mainly, in my honest opinion, I think it's going to be Alexa Bliss to take a loss. Mickie James has a match. She needs a match like this to put her skills on the forefront, and she needs to have it just for everyone to see how good she is on the main stage, you know. But with what I'm seeing here with Becky Lynch versus Mickie James, I believe Mickie James is going to take the victory. It's too early for Mickie James to take a loss. Becky Lynch can take a loss, and it won't lose stock when she loses by outside interference. This is going to set up, like I mentioned earlier, a fatal three-way for the women's title somewhere down the line, where Mickie James is more than likely going to feud with Alexa Bliss come WrestleMania. The next match that we had on the card for Elimination Chamber 2017 here on the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast, we have Nikki Bella versus Natalya. The only thoughts I have for this match going in is that this match is only designed to plug Total Bellas and Total Divas for E! Entertainment. Natalya and Nikki Bella have been bickering back and forth in such high school fashion that there is no reason that they should be feuding other than to plug the shows that they're involved in. There's really no essential storyline being built outside of the drama that they have, where Natalya is just insulting Nikki Bella back and forth. It's cheap heat given to Natalya by creative to just build up tension to rustle up a feud before Elimination Chamber starts. Now, granted, this isn't saying that this whole feud's a waste. I had little to no faith about this feud, but until I saw that they had a feud, that this feud culminate at Talking Smack, where it's actually going to get you to build in to watch it at Elimination Chamber, where Natalya comes running in on Nikki Bella and actually puts a hurting on her before she leaves. That, to me, was the icing on the cake. And it's a good method for people to tune into Talking Smack, to subscribe to the network, to look up the YouTube channels, to get more interest going to watch Elimination Chamber. Expect Nikki Bella to take this victory to redeem what happened on Talking Smack and to redeem all the insults she's been getting. Natalya is one of those very few superstars where she doesn't really necessarily need to have a victory to be relevant still. She can still do what she has to do to build a feud up with anyone else come towards the WrestleMania season. If it doesn't become a victory with Nikki Bella, there's going to be outside interference from somebody. I would assume an outside interference from somebody that's involved with Natalya's camp, but it's just too far to say. There was no interference going into this feud with Nikki Bella and Natalya. It's just been them two for the longest of times. So with what I'm thinking, I think Nikki Bella is going to take it and just get her just desserts for all the insults that Natalya has been giving her this whole time. SmackDown Championship Turmoil match is the next match I'm going to be talking about, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Turmoil match. With this amount of tag teams in the Elimination Chamber, it'll be hard to believe that American Alpha is going to retain the title, but that's what they want you to believe. It's definitely that's what the reputation of the Elimination Chamber gives us. It gives us this whole, wow, we have about 6 people entering this Elimination Chamber, and it's going to be 5 people against 1 champion, and it's all up for grabs at this point. That's the best part of it. With a bunch of tag teams involved as well, it's even more, the amount of spontaneity of who's going to win the actual title actually goes up as well. There's a ton of things to wonder. There's a ton of things to worry about, especially when you're involving so many tag teams. But that's exactly how they want you to feel. I myself believe that American Alpha is going to retain The reason why is because American Alpha still has these titles. They haven't had them for a long time, so these titles need to keep their prestige with the people that have them going into the Elimination Chamber, and it'll go good with adding more fuel to the reputation of American Alpha, because if they retain against those many tag teams going into WrestleMania, they're going to be red hot, and if they actually lose come WrestleMania season, then that's going to bring fire to whoever faces them at WrestleMania. But in my honest opinion, I think that the prestige of this new title needs to keep going, and I think American Alpha is going to retain against all the competitors that are involved in the Elimination Chamber match, this tag team turmoil match. So the Ascension, the Vaudevillains, Heath Slater and Rhino, Breezango, and the Usos, they really don't have much to say in this situation because the belt needs to stay relevant. So expect American Alpha to retain on that note. The next up we have Luke Harper versus Randy Orton. This match is one that benefits both wrestlers no matter the outcome. So it goes like this. How I have it predicted is that Luke Harper wins, and then he does a complete face turn away from the Wyatt family after he beats Orton. Then Orton Orton upsets Bray to then set up a title run at WrestleMania against Bray Wyatt. Now follow me again. So with Luke Harper versus Randy Orton, Luke Harper's in a position where he can separate himself from the Wyatt family, and now Randy Orton's in a position where he can separate himself from the Wyatt family with a loss. Luke Harper wins. He's completely disassociated from the Wyatt family. Randy Orton takes this loss, goes into WrestleMania to set up a feud with Bray Wyatt. Now, follow me here when I go into the main event after this, but this is what I mean by it benefits both wrestlers, because both are going to be shot in two different directions, totally away from each other. Both of their stock still remains up because Randy Orton still has the opportunity to face the champion come WrestleMania because he's won the Royal Rumble. I like it. I think that's the best way because Randy Orton has no reason to win at this point unless he just wants to take a victory and that's it. But Luke Harper needs this victory more than Randy Orton does because Randy Orton has his trump card being the opportunity to face the champion come WrestleMania. Now we go to this big match here with the Elimination Chamber match for the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship belt. Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, AJ Styles, The Miz, Bray Wyatt. They're all going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Got 6 men going against each other for the title. So it's going to go like this. Baron Corbin can't win it right now because he's too green. The WWE creative will not have Dean Ambrose hold both titles at the same time. I don't think that you could go back to and reference his world title run as a reference to that. Though it was good, it just didn't really do it for me. Add to the fact, I know this is a sidebar, but add the fact that he had a terrible podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Go see that and come back and tell me that Dean Ambrose is a good promo. John Cena has to lose this title to then get his 17th, beating Ric Flair's all-time championship record at WrestleMania. Cena needs to lose this to then regain it at WrestleMania. AJ Styles, though I do want him to win this, I don't have him winning it just because he's had his title run for a long time. He had a few months with it as well, and I'm glad he had the title. It's hard for me to believe that Vince McMahon was really okay with just giving an ex-TNA guy the WWE Championship belt. But I think it took a lot of convincing backstage. But nonetheless, still proud that AJ Styles had his run there. The Miz, though he is one of the best working heels in the business, he needs a different feud other than him being involved with anyone in the championship picture. The Miz versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania is not going to do it. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, to me, is the most logical choice right now to win at the Elimination Chamber. He's been overdue. They've been working on the Bray Wyatt project for about two and a half years now, but with injuries and with setbacks with those injuries, it just hasn't came to fruition. But I think now's the time. Now's the time to capitalize after he comes out of Elimination Chamber with beating everybody in there. I would imagine if Luke Harper is still a part of the Wyatt family, that some shenanigans are going to be involved in that Elimination Chamber match. And I also predict this too. Call me crazy, but this is the perfect time for whoever's involved in that SmackDown circle there to then appear to then feud with The Undertaker. I imagine there might be an Undertaker feud culminating at this Elimination Chamber match, which is then going to allow Bray Wyatt to get the victory. It's either going to be the Wyatt family doing it for Bray Wyatt, or it's going to be some involvement with The Undertaker giving the open window for Bray Wyatt to then win it. Either that, or The Undertaker helps eliminate whoever at Elimination Chamber, but it's going to set up a feud between him and that said person. So it goes like this. So Bray Wyatt wins it, then follow me now here with the Randy Orton situation. So Bray Wyatt wins it at Elimination Chamber. They then set up a Randy Orton face turn when he before Mania time comes. So that ends Randy Orton's run with the Wyatt family. So then it gives Randy Orton one last hurrah as a champion before he hangs it up along the lines after WrestleMania. I know it's a lot to take in, but that's the perfect way it's going to go. So to mention one more time, Bray Wyatt wins it. Randy Orton then has to do a face from a heel position. He has to do a face turn before WrestleMania comes up against Bray Wyatt as the champion, then to go to WrestleMania to face Randy Orton. Randy Orton takes the belt, and then there we go. That's how it's going to go, I believe. You have to have it like that, unless there's going to be a crazy situation where John Cena is going to get the belt at WrestleMania. Who knows? It's just crazy thoughts going in, and it sucks because you want to give a situation like this to Bray Wyatt, but then you need John Cena involved as well, because I don't know whether or not he's going to be... I think Hollywood's calling John Cena a little more than WWE is at this point. Anyway, those are my predictions for Elimination Chamber. Once again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, replies, tweets, you can tweet me at Mark F Podcast. I'm usually active there on Twitter, or you can follow me on Instagram at Mark F's Modern Life. That's at Mark F's Modern Life. You can follow me on Instagram there, where I'm usually posting wrestling related stuff. It's always good. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast. I am almost hitting the year mark on doing this Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast, and it's been nothing but fun. It's been the amount of downloads I've been getting, the amount of praise and acclaim I've been getting. It's very impressive, and I enjoy it. I enjoy everyone listening on iHeartRadio and everyone on Spreaker. I thank you once again. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening to me from here to the United States, to the UK, Ireland, etc., etc. You guys have been great to me. I got big plans for this calendar year of 2017, so you guys just wait it out. Once again, this has been Mark Flores for the Mark F Podcast channel with Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast for the Elimination Chamber 2016 predictions. I'll see you guys Monday for the review and analysis.